Hey friends, today's conversation is around the architecture of awareness. So in a video that I just put out, I don't know, a bit ago, it was called the consciousness versus awareness. And really, what I showed you in there is that the consciousness field, which is the neutrino ocean, or it's the sacred geometry that is, the building blocks of this particular Maya and creation. So the consciousness field is the entire potential. Everything that's possible is out there in the neutrino ocean. I say out there, but it's in you too. So the entire potential is available, okay? And today I'm bringing you this architecture of awareness because I want to take you farther into imagination in another video. And because I want to do that and show you the depth and understanding of imagination, so that you can absolutely create, live, participate, manifest, take action in the life that you are designed for. Okay. So today's conversation, I do have images from the classes that I took at the International Human Design School, Jovian Archive, and BG5 Business Institute. So if I have any of those little friends that like to lurk on my channel and then say that I'm taking their copyright, I just want to let you know that I am giving you full credit for the images that I have put on this particular diagram so that people can understand how the architecture of awareness works through them. All right, so friends, the actual friends that are here, I'm going to show you this architecture because human design is deep. It's a science. So in my home study course down below, I've taken 30 years of Ra's material and tried to simplify it so that you can really harness your magic. Okay. And simplify meaning I still have like 160 plus videos in there, and there is workbooks, and there are PowerPoint presentations. All of that's still in there. Okay. Anyways, so why am I doing this? And why is this important for business, career, all of that? So it's important because if we are not aware, if we are allowing for the distractions, Twitter, governments, World Health Organization, the World Economic Forum, maybe it is a really cranky parent or spouse or a shitty job that you're in, all of that stuff that's continuously pulling on your mental capacity and creating a distraction, that's not awareness, okay? And I'm going to share with you this beautiful diagram that was created just like, honestly, pretty much instantaneous. I heard one sentence out of Ra's mouth in one of his classes that he was teaching, and poof, this was just created like 5 minutes ago. So I'm just going to share it with you so that you can understand the architecture of awareness in a deeper way, so that when I get to the imagination piece, you guys are already on board with me, okay? So the architecture of awareness, the definition of awareness is actually to be comfortable in your own skin. How can you be comfortable in your own skin? Not letting the distractions pull you off center. And we're going to talk about what center is. So once you're in center and you are fully immersed in your center, whatever is going on in the world, it cannot make you feel uncomfortable in your own skin. It can't, because you're so centered. Okay. Now, in saying that, are there things that, are going to still have you react in a little bit? For sure there is, for sure. But it all begins with here. Okay. There all begins with here, inside this energy field. But the more you become comfortable in your own skin, all that other stuff doesn't matter. Okay. All that other stuff doesn't matter. And I'm not talking about, you have to be a guru on a mountain. It's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you being comfortable no matter what is going on in the outside world. Okay. So the architecture of awareness. Let's play with this. And again, I just want to point out to any of the lurkers from Jovian Archive, BG5 Business Institute, or the International Human Design School, I am giving you guys full credit for the illustrations that I'm going to be using in this particular video. Okay. So just so the copyright claim cannot happen. So there's two different crystals that are embedded into our design. And we have the design crystal, which resides in the Ajna center. This is how we conceptualize, okay? And then the second is the personality crystal, but actually it hovers right above the head center. It's just like hovering right above the scalp, okay? So it resides there. So this gives you a better understanding of the witness. We're here to witness, 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 because we are actually on the outside of this vessel. Okay, we're on the outside of this vessel and we're energy, allowing this vessel to, operate and move and be. So the personality crystal hovers just above the head center. So now let's go into the complexity of this. So this is why when you have twins, you can see the difference in the twins. And also, not only is it just this architecture, but remember, we learned this in physics. This is physics 101. Two objects cannot hold the same space and time. Can't do it. So there's always going to be this little degree of perspective difference, especially when we're talking about twins. Okay. So when we look at this, to clear this off as I move. So the neutrino ocean, what is the neutrino ocean? Well, it's the breath of the stars as well as Jupiter, hence the reason Ra called his business Jovian Archive. Jupiter is also, it's like this hybrid. It is an illuminary, or in other terminology, you can call it a planet. And it's also a star. It gives off neutrinos. There's this breath of neutrinos. And what is a neutrino? Neutrino is a data piece. It's a data piece. Okay. We are living in this data, which is the sacred geometry, the consciousness field, whatever you want to call it. It's this data that's all around us and flowing through us. We are more open than we are closed. Always, always. Even if you have 9 centers defined, you are more open than you are closed. Okay. This neutrino ocean, understand this, that there are so many organizations out there trying to duplicate data. That's why you have Google, Amazon, Facebook. Google is YouTube. Instagram is Facebook. TikTok, all of these things, they're just data collectors. That's exactly what you are, my friend. You're a data collector. You're collecting data. So anything that you see on the outside world is actually the magic that you already hold inside of you. So the neutrino ocean is flowing through you and is providing you with all the data, all the potential is flowing through you at all times, all the time. That's when the neutrino ocean is. But what brings you to a place of awareness, what brings you to this place of being centered, being comfortable in your own skin, is understanding that there's architecture underneath of this. So first, the neutrino ocean comes in and it hits your base of each one of these crystals. Okay, you have a design base and a personality crystal. It hits that base. Now, if you're operating as not self, if there's full distortion and distraction and chasing of things, okay, the base frequency isn't correct. So it cannot flow correctly through. Okay, now just think of this, like think of pipes in your house, water pipes in your house. So if the truth of who you are is being blocked off, then all of that data is being funneled through a completely incorrect pipe. So you want to be able to be so comfortable in your own skin that you're getting the correct data stream that's for you. So first, these crystals hit the base, okay? And in my PHS videos, I talk about tone and color. I don't really get into the base. I might be adding that though because I think it's important as we move along, understanding how we're designed to structure our businesses, how we show up in our careers, what our family life, what are we, representing in the family life? How are we designed to create this relationship? It all starts here in the base. And I'm going to be honest with you, even in the differentiation degree, there isn't a whole bunch of talk about base because it is completely not in our capacity to understand it at a level of consciousness. Okay, so I'm going to bring that in just a little bit in that PHS course because I feel like it's very important. Also, I'm going to add another thing into the self-study as well. So hits your base. Okay. That's where the neutrino ocean enters in through the base. Then it hits the tonal architecture. And as Ross says, he made this into a triangle because it's like when you cut it down the middle, there's a right and a left. Okay. There's a right and a left. And through this, this is where we get variable. And just an FYI, this is not the arrows. Don't call it the arrows. This is a variable. This is what begins to differentiate the transformation that you are here to represent. That's what variables do. Okay. Of course, they look like arrows. Don't call them the arrows because that's not what they are. They're variables. They provide you with your variable family. It shows you the evolution of humanity. Okay. And that's why this is so important because I'm going to share with you this evolution and have you understand how the imagination is so important to this. Okay. So it hits the tone, okay? Goes from the color, hits the tone. Now it gets to, goes from the base to the tone. Now we get to the color. So I apologize for that. Color, there's two spaces that really matter. And that is your sun earth color, so that your body brain, you know exactly how your body brain is designed to have a cognition, understand, be nourished, and understand humanity. And the nodes is all about your environment. What is the best space for your physical body to be cognitive? Okay, to be cognitive. That shows us in the environment. On the other hand, on the personality side, we have the sun, earth. This is the motivation. This is how we're motivated correctly. Now, something that's so important is that we forget that motivation actually doesn't truly take hold until after we're 50. Doesn't truly take hold until after we're 50. That's why the Chiron return is so critical. So if you guys haven't had a cycle chart and you're in your 50s and you're in your Chiron return, get that done. I can do that for you. I know lots of really good people that can do that as well. Let me know if that's something that's of interest to you, because that's when the flowering happens. That's the motivation, okay, after 50. The nodes actually happen between 30 and 50. So once you're in the correct environment at the age of 30, now your perspective can begin to mature. So I also put the colors here around. Ra talked about angels, demons, ghosts, gods, entities, and aliens, how we actually see them. So just so you know that that's there as well. Now, from the color, poof, we hit the line. And the line tells us, what are we here for? Line ones are introspective. Twos, projection. They're naturals. 3, adaptation. 4s, externalization. 5s, universalization. That's why I did that whole heretic thing, because, man, we have some really confused fifth line people. And 6, this is the transition. Okay. And then, of course, it goes through the gate. And if you so desire, you can also put in the planet or the illuminary, however you want to call it. I'm a flat earther, so I look at them as illuminaries in the firmament as per the Bible and how God created our magic world. Okay, so the Bible talks about the firmament and talks about how Earth is flat, not round, and we're not flying through space uncontrollably, worrying about, getting hit by the next astro and dying. Whatever. Anyway, so you can add in the planet taste or nuance. And there's a video here on my YouTube channel about the planet nuance. Okay. As well, if you really would like to, you can add in the astrological sign. You can add in some flavors there. And then there's also the gene keys. I think, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, is I think the gene keys, once you're living design and you're in awareness, the gene keys are obsolete because you're already living at that energy of the Siddhi, just so you're aware of that. That's what I think. But if you want to add in the gene keys, then do that, because if that works for you and your clients, then do that. So now everything is being held through your monopole. Everything's being held through the monopole, which sits right behind the sternum. And it is the torus field. So what is the torus field? Well, the torus field holds us together in this, fictional illustration that we call humans and Earth, this Maya that we all collectively built. It holds us together. So it holds this separateness of design and personality, brings it together inside of this illusionary world. And now what you get to do, is you get to go out and use your profile, your public role, your profile. And you get to express your entire design, all of that stuff, all of that architecture, okay? You get to now express it through your public role, your profile, out into the world. And this is what awareness is. Once you express it, guess what? All of your data that you've now moved through, you're now also putting that out into the neutrino ocean and creating an extra layer of nuance in the data stream. So I don't know about you, but for me, this stuff is what creates the magic of human design. And I'm going to say it again, because I've been saying it in all the other videos the last little bit. Language is important. Data is important. So do you notice how there's all these like emojis? There's all these like shortened words that took place in our world, which then actually dumbed down our society. And because there's a dumbing down of our society, we've become more ignorant. What does ignorance do? It chases distraction. It chases distraction. So ignorance chases distraction. So if you don't want to be ignorant, really understand the language that's flowing through your conditioned mind, your healthy mind, your articulation, the aura that's around you, your body language. All of this is so critical. So I of course, I troll like a ton of Facebook groups. And inside those Facebook groups, it breaks my heart to see how confused people are. How confused they are, because there's been so many, there's been an infiltration of human design readers who have less than 2 weeks of training. And now they are teaching the information. And if this is you, please understand, I am not judging you. What I'm saying is that you need to let the information absolutely settle in your cellular structure. When Ra says it's 7 years, it's 7 years. I interact with the most spiritual people on the planet because that's who my clientele are. That's why I did this YouTube channel, because I really understood deeply in my cells, after meditating and sitting on it and really understanding my design, that the best place for me was to be on a channel or like a platform where we could interact energetically. So when clients interact with me, they've already worked through all that. Oh, what does this mean? Oh, geez, I'm so confused. Oh, this person's pissing me off. Oh, how do I, or like, what's the best design for my husband? All of that stuff is irrelevant when you're in the depths of awareness. So ignorance chases distraction. Awareness lives in the center and is comfortable in its own skin. So if you want to connect with me, all the links are down below. I'm still doing 1 hour and 2 hour sessions. Eventually, I think those are going to go away because I want to work with people deeply. But anyway, they're still there. So if you want to work with me and you really want to understand the depth of who you are, now understand something as well. In an hour session, I can get through a lot of information, but to go to the levels that we want to, it takes a longer package to do that. I have to be honest with you, because of the 30-year science that's really embedded in this information. So how are you feeling in your awareness? Do you feel comfortable in your own skin? Do you feel comfortable in your own skin? Are you letting the distractions have you chasing things that don't matter? Unfortunately, again, we're in this society where we've changed language, we've changed words, we've shortened words, we've done all of that. We have all these vanity metrics. How many followers do you have? How many likes do you have? Which is all keeping us completely distracted. And through that, again, I want to say this, distraction is because of ignorance. And ignorance is because we're not centered in our awareness. I'm not saying that people are stupid. It's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that ignorance takes us off center and has us chasing things that aren't good for us. So what are some of your practices that you do to stay centered no matter what? No matter what. And I get it. I totally get it. You're a mom. You got kids around you. And it's like, how can you stay centered? Well, witness. Meditation is beautiful for being able to calm the mind. And the other thing I would highly recommend that you do constantly is question what your mind is telling you. Question what your mind is telling you, because most of the time it's the conditioned conversation that's taking you off track. All right, friends. Okay, I will close now. And I hope that you get a deep, profound sense that human design is a science. It's an awareness tool. And it isn't as simple as, oh, I'm going to learn everything in 2 weeks and I'm going to be living my design. That doesn't happen. Okay. Thank you.